Hi everyone, welcome to another SEGI webinar series brought to you by SEGI Group of Colleges. I am Valermadi and I am a lecturer cum program leader from the School of Psychology. I am hosting my students for today's session. And again, I would like to welcome all of you to this live webinar titled Student Coping Strategies During the COVID-19 Pandemic, brought to you by School of Psychology. Before we begin, I would like to do a quick tech check. Can everyone hear and see me clearly? If yes, please type yes in the comment section. All right, for those who have just joined in, I would like to welcome you again to this live webinar titled Students Coping Strategies During this COVID pandemic. And I am Valermadi. I am a lecturer cum program leader from the School of Psychology, and I will be your host for today. A quick briefing to everyone before we start our session today. Our session will take approximately 60 minutes, and during our webinar session, participants are encouraged to type your questions in the comment section below, and our speakers will try their best to attend to your questions during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Also, we would like to inform you that this webinar is being recorded and will be used by SEGI universities and colleges in the future. Before we proceed, we would like to know more about our participants who are joining our session today, because we are actually anticipating for have participants from different regions. So for that, can I have everyone here to type in the comment section and share with us where are you connecting from? Great. It's nice to know that we have participants from different regions for today's session. Now, is everyone ready for the webinar? If you are ready, please press 1 in the comment section. All right, great. Let's go. So we have 3 speakers today for our session, and they are final year students from the program of Diploma in Psychology. So please allow me to introduce Suzanne Neha, Anthony Nathaniel, and Tan Li Shi. Without further ado, let's welcome our speakers to discuss on the challenges that they are facing during this pandemic period, and also how are they coping with it. So I would like to pass this session on to Suzanne Neha. Thank you.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to our webinar titled Students Coping Strategies During the COVID-19 Pandemic. This webinar will be focusing on students' mental health, their well-being, and how to cope with this period of uncertainty. So before we begin, let us watch a short video clip on MCO routine presented by our psychology students. All right, so that was the video presented. I'm very sorry for technical issue. We do not know why the audio was can't hear. So let me just move on. So here's an overview of today's discussion. The first will be common challenges faced by students during the pandemic, how the challenges affect students' mental health, what are some of the coping strategies that you can learn from, and also how does these coping strategies help students. Okay, so 2020. 2020 has definitely been a very tough year for all of us since the outbreak of the coronavirus, and it has affected our lives drastically, all of us. So here are a few common challenges that can be found within ourselves. First will be all of us, most of us are not financially stable. We are definitely insecure about our health and also not having a good internet connection. So let's be real. Over the past 3 to 4 months, our lives will totally depend on internet connection. Without a good internet connection, we literally cannot do anything, be it working from home, online classes, or to even connect your loved ones. So now let's see what the psychology says about coping. All right. So coping strategies refers to both the specific efforts, behavioral and psychological. In simpler terms, it means to help you manage through your difficult period of time. So the coping theories is then separated into two parameters, which will be the focus-oriented theory and the approach-oriented theory. So what is these two theories? Focus-oriented theory basically says that our coping strategies is affected by our trait and personalities. So for an example, it would be if you are an extrovert, your coping strategy probably be social support. you like to communicate with your friends or your family members to tell them how you actually feel, right? So then there's the approach-oriented theory. The approach-oriented theory basically is the actual coping theory itself. For example, it will be self-control, confrontation, emotional distancing, positive reappraisal, and so on. So now, let us go into a sharing session with two of our other speakers, Anthony and Lishi, on how do we cope and what are our challenges faced. So hi Anthony and hi Lishi.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Hi Susan.
Hi. Hi. All right. So 2020, since the outbreak of coronavirus, none of us actually expected that to come. So have you guys ever been in any kind of pandemic situation before?
For me, no. This is my first time during my 20 years of life. How about Anthony?
Yes. I don't. I too have never been in a pandemic situation before. It is a new experience. never thought
Right.
we'll be in a situation like this at the in the new year. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, same. All right. So I'm very sure, online classes, we have never thought that, we would be in a virtual classroom. But then, within a short period of time, we were just less notice and we have to actually go through an online classes. So since you guys are going through online classes, I'm very sure there are challenges that you face, right? So can you guys share with us what are the challenges that you face?
Yeah.
For me, internet. How about
Go
Anthony?
ahead. Yeah, like Lishi said, there obviously there are internet problems. If you do not have proper stable Wi-Fi or internet, you will obviously not be able to attend class. There'll be breakouts during the class and stuff, so on. And it's also a very new platform that none of us have actually used or practiced before. Zoom, or even other platforms that we used to, like our college owned platform for our discussion boards and stuff like that. It's a bit different compared to how we normally do our normal classes. It's a bit odd at first, but after a while it takes some getting used to, then it's all right. Yeah. What about you, Lishi?
Yeah, I agree with what Anthony said just now. Internet connection is one of the big challenge for me, because we need the internet to attend our class, and then for assignment part, it's very important also, right? Like I experienced that because I sometimes I hard difficult to upload the assignment. So it may affect, like I will be worried and then and anxious why it can't submit, and then until I can't sleep. Yeah, true. And then when the connection is poor, right? Like when you want to communicate with lecturer or your friends, it's very difficult because sometimes it may influence your understanding towards the topic, because you can't hear the voice from your lecturers clearly, like the lagging sound or the robotic sound. Yeah. So sometimes you can't really fully put the attention on the lecture. This is why I feel and then I challenge.
All right, I see. Okay, so for me, I think since I already finished all my classes in SEGI itself, and now I'm actually doing my internship, so I don't think I have a lot of academic challenges, but I do have non-academic challenges, which will be working from home. Because you see, I'm doing my internship with School of Psychology in SEGI Subang. So why is working from home a challenge for me? While some of them at outside actually enjoy it for me, it's because when I think of the word home, it's a place where I can be comfortable in. It's a comfort zone for me. And then when I think of the word work, it's much more professional setting where I get up in the morning and I actually go to work. So when work and home clashes together, it then creates like kind of confusion in my mind where, okay, wait, I'm in my house. Should I be comfortable or should I not be? So that kind of thinking. And then another challenge for me will be internet connection. Most of the time, I do not have good network near my house, which will then lead in a disrupt of a bad internet connection. So if I want to have a meeting with my supervisor or anyone and in that position, I could not really have a good meeting with them because of my bad interconnection. So I think these two will be my non-academic challenges that I face. So do you guys have non-academic challenges?
Mm, yes, actually, like for me, I have a challenge from my family and then myself also because my mother feels recently she's not really so well, so she can't do some things. So I need to help her to finish the things, and then I'm so worried, right? Worried and anxious how was about the health is it. So sometimes it may stress on me also. But for me, because it's too comfort at home, so sometimes you lack of motivation to finish the things like assignment that you have to finish it. But yeah, because you lack of motivation, sometimes you will delay it or what. And then because lack of body movement, because we always sitting most of the time is sitting on the chair, so lack of body movement, we may somehow feel that it's a bit limited our actions. So yes. How about Anthony?
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you. I too face these problems, especially when it started. Because when it started, I was midway through my sem break. So at the start, it didn't feel like much, but over time, you can start realizing the problems that you start facing. Focus is a very hard thing to do, especially in an environment where there are so many factors that you cannot control. The noise that comes from your family members, or even your pets at home, or even any other thing like your Wi-Fi. You can't control that if you have a bad Wi-Fi or stuff like that. And
Yeah.
obviously, these challenges will make it a bit harder and sometimes a bit more stressful throughout your day. Especially when you got nothing else to do and you only have to do these one or two things, and that also it makes it so hard for you to do it. Yeah, it can get quite tough sometimes. Yeah, a bit stressful during that time.
Okay, so with all that's going on, I'm very sure that uh, we are mentally drained because I didn't know that students too has non-academic challenges. I mean, I know, but I didn't know that there was more into it. So, can you guys describe your mental health state? For us.
Yeah, obviously at the start, like I said, it wasn't too bad because it was midway through my time break and stuff like that. So it was kind of a normal situation, just being at home. You didn't really feel like you were quarantined. But once a month went in and one and a half months and stuff
Mm.
like that, it starts kind of hitting you a bit hard, realizing what are stuff you're missing out. Like even just going outside, meeting up with your friends for a few hours, it really takes quite a bit of a huge toll, especially when you're constantly every day, almost your schedule is almost the same because you have, as a student, it's most probably classes. So it's wake up, get ready for your class, finish
Mm.
class, do your assignments, and so on, so on. It's just the same thing over and over for 3 months already. So it's been quite draining.
Mm.
But I guess it takes time to get used to. It's not something that immediately I was fine with it. At the start, obviously, I had difficulties with coping with the online classes and stuff like that. It really, yeah. But the good thing is, I'm getting used to it now. Not that I'm fully okay with it and everything, but obviously, I'm getting better at being going to online classes, even living in this kind of lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay. How about Lishi?
Yeah, yeah. I understand how the Anthony's feel just now because I'm so when the this period of time started, I'm also in the same break. So initially, you will think that it's very like simple and then relaxed. You will thought that it's a long holiday, and then you may feel happy lah. But after the time goes on, you will think that it's a bit different from what you thought before. Because like Anthony said, you will do the same schedule as every day, attend your class, you need to finish your assignments and everything. So at this time, your mental state may change. Like you may feel a bit depressed and then negative feelings because most of the things that you can't do. So at this time, because we lack of social bonding with people, with our friends also, so we may feel we started to miss our friends and their lecturers. So at this time, we may feel a little bit sad, maybe. for me. And then, but until for me now, it's fine. Yeah, like Anthony said, we need
Okay.
some time to
Right.
deal with it.
I think for me, my mental state would be I'm quite stressed, obviously, because I am not the type of person where I like to sit in the house, for a long term. And can you imagine for the past 3 months, I've been sitting in the house and not going out because of quarantine. So yeah, that is very stressful. And because for me, it's one way for me to overcome or to feel nicer is for me to go out, get some fresh air, go to the mall or go out with my friend, have a drink like that. But then since quarantine and you just have to sit in the house, it definitely has made me feel very, how to say, loss of motivation and mentally draining. Yeah. So I'm very sure with all that's going on, of course, one way or another, we have our coping mechanisms, right? Our coping strategies to keep us going throughout the day. So, what are those coping strategies that you guys have?
Basically, for me, time management is important because we need to manage our time according to the online classes and then our assignment, and make sure that we need some time for us to relax and then enjoy, right? So yeah, we need to manage the time accordingly, and then according to what tasks that we have to finish, and then the time that we need to enjoy and then relax. Because, like I said just now, because at the home, so many is the things that can distract our attention. So we may lack of motivation to finish the things, right? So we need to become more self-monitored so we can finish the things on time. So we won't delay the things. If we delay and then we finish all the things at last minute, we may feel anxious and then stressed out. Seriously. And then, yeah, time management can give us to focus on one point. So we can pay the fully attention on it. We won't easily distract by the environment because we need to finish it on time. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what. How about
Yeah,
Anthony?
I totally agree with Lishi on that. Time management is a very important thing during this period of time. Uh, like if I don't manage my time properly, I'll just get carried away, maybe playing games or watching movies, and I might just forget about assignments. And because I'm in an environment where this is my comfort environment. This is a place where
Yeah.
I am usually tuned to go to playing games or watching movies or just doing what I want to do. Obviously, it's a bit hard when you want to pull time management and be organized and stuff like that. But obviously, it takes practice. Lah. Another coping mechanism I use is basically to have focus on my own personal goals and achievements. Obviously, as a student, as a family member, as a friend, there are certain things you have to do. You have to commit your time into doing certain things like your assignments and your practice and your revision. And also, as a friend and a family member, you have to take time into spending time with these people. Otherwise you're just going to lose your relationship with them. So I do keep my focus in this and that. But when it comes to
Yeah, I'm
when it comes to relaxation and de-stressing myself, I guess that's when I move towards a more personal and alone time, which I would indulge myself in listening to music. Most of the time is listening to music and playing music. I feel that period of time, just 15 or even 20 minutes of just playing and listening to music can really put you on a better tone throughout the day, especially if you're messed up on that day and you're just feeling tired or you're just feeling just stressed. There everyone has those days where you just
Yes.
do not want to be disturbed. Just having that kind of 15 20 minutes is very helpful and just able to de-stress yourself. So I guess separating your time and time management is very, very important during this time for me to cope.
yeah. I understand
Yeah.
the Anthony said just now. Music
Yeah,
is
true.
also important for me. Like I will use the free time to explore the more songs. So I really enjoy and then during this process.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. For me, my coping mechanism is first music, definitely, because I cannot start my day without playing Spotify. I like to listen to classical orchestra music, which keeps me going on the day. And then my second coping strategy will be social support, where because there are days like how Anthony said we feel very moody, stressed. Where so I take this time to connect with my siblings and my friends, where I video call them or to go out to meet them. Not literally go out, like maybe call them in to my place, talk to them. So it will kind of soothe me down and boost my mood, make my day more productive. And another coping strategy where it's quite low key but not really tend to be seen as coping strategy is looking at your problems in a different perspective, like looking at it in a much more positive way. So when we look at a problem in a positive way, it kind of tells your mind that, you know what, it's okay, I can overcome this. So yeah, that is another coping strategy of mine. Right. So I definitely think that these coping strategies of mine has really helped me. How it definitely has kept me going, and also to make my day easier. Where if I feel stressed sometimes, or in any other negative vibes that I have, it puts me down. It improves my mood, and also it kind of teaches me a lesson from a lesson for me to learn from the challenges that I face. So I think it's more like you learn from a mistake or you learn from the challenges that you face, that kind of thing. Yeah. How about you guys? How does your coping strategies help you guys?
Rishi, would you like to go first?
Okay. Um, like I said, time management is very important because if we manage our time accordingly, so we can take care our mental health and the physical health. Like if we put all things at once and then we finish the all things at one time, so we need to spend more time even though our sleeping hours to finish the things. So it may influence our mental state or even our physical health also. Like I agree with Suzanne said just now, sharing is or chatting with the friends or siblings is very important also. For me it's also helpful because like this during this period of time we lack of social bonding with people like our friends. So sharing is very important so we can feel we are connected with people. So we won't keep all the negative feelings and things inside our heart rather than sharing with people. It, either then it is good or bad, but we can express our feelings and experience out. It's quite good. How about Anthony?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But also it helps me focus, especially uh, during this time there's certain things you just can't control, and focus is quite key during this time, especially when you're really needed to do your work within a certain amount of time, or even during a live session when you have to do your tutorials and stuff like that. It's a bit hard to do it if you're not focused, and especially in this kind of environment, not a classroom setting, which I have not been in before, to do a classroom and stuff like that. It's a bit hard because, to be honest, there are so many things that can just distract me immediately. Even a flicker of light in my computer screen, or even just a random noise outside my house, it can just take off my entire focus on a certain subject or something. And especially when it comes to harder subjects and subjects which you need really to be focused in the class, so you can actually be able to answer your tutorials and stuff like that. It's a bit hard. So these coping strategies have actually kind of helped me focus on what I'm doing at that moment. Uh, and obviously, when you are focused and you will be able to understand what you're doing, you will have basically less stress and less anxiety. Even for myself, I can feel it when I'm not focused and I'm doing something rushed, or when I'm doing something without my 100% commitment. Obviously, I'm going to be thinking and I have doubt in my mind, and that doubt is going to be turning into stress, and sooner and later you're just going to be messed up. Yeah,
Yeah.
so really these coping strategies help me focus. The main thing is help me focus.
Understand.
Okay, right. So I'm sure that over it's already June now, so like almost half of the year we are under quarantine, not be able to do whatever things that we love. But I'm sure even that we are in the house also, we get to learn some new stuff, maybe learn a new dish or anything. So I think that the thing that I have learned is some of the most some of the internet famous thing, like like making the gona coffee, or some of the new recipes that you see in TikTok. Yeah, the things. And then also I think I have become more internet savvy, where I know that so many different platforms to actually video call with other than Skype. Because before this, I had no idea there's something called StreamYard or Zoom or anything. Yeah. So yeah, internet savvy and also learn new dishes. Probably going on for online classes to learn a new language. Yeah, that is also can be another added advantage in the future. So yeah, that is what I have learned during the 6 months of quarantine. How about you guys?
Yeah, obviously, there are a lot of things that I've learned and adapted to. Online classes is one of them. But I think overall, I've been more open to new experiences, like even like you said, TikTok and stuff like that. Before this, I never really took the time to go and see it. But now, because I have time, uh, I would actually just maybe take 5-10 minutes, sometimes even go longer to watch these videos and stuff like that. Some of it is really funny and stuff.
Yeah,
It really relaxes you during this this period of time.
true, true.
uh, and also, yeah, it just allows me to adapt and also just learn new things, so even taking up new instruments and stuff like that. uh, yeah, I think overall I have learned how to use even this Zoom and all. I've never used it before, so now that we are constantly using it, obviously it's a new trait lah.
Mm, right. Okay. So thanks for sharing it all, sharing our coping strategies and also how does this help you. So here are some of the coping strategies that we have shared. So there'll be social support, personal achievement, emotional distancing, physical activities, confrontation, meditation, music, and positive reappraisal. Overall, how does these coping strategies help students? So number one, it definitely reduces our emotional stress and it increases energy to stimulate the mind. So how does this stimulate the mind? Like we have shared this now. When we overcome certain challenges, it then kind of gives us this satisfaction feeling in us, which then kind of improves our mood, which then results in stimulation of the mind. And then also students will be more receptive to learn and make their days productive because, you will be more motivated to learn once you know that you have certain coping strategies that is effective and can help you. And then students will also have a better time management and also they will learn to multitask. Right. So thank you. Now we have come to an now three of us has already spoken on how we overcome our challenges using our coping strategies and how does these coping strategies help us. So now I'll pass it back to Miss Valerie.
Hi. Thank you to our speakers for the very insightful session today. I believe that all of us here would have benefited from today's topic that they have discussed. So, especially on adopting to effective coping strategies while facing the challenges during this pandemic. So now let's move to a Q&A session. To those who are still connecting with us, you can write your question in the comment sections below, and we will do our best to answer all of your questions. And also you can direct your question to a specific speaker if you would like to do so. Audience, you are welcome to post your questions if you have any before we end the session. I'm still waiting. Is there any? All right, if there is no any questions from our participants today, I would like to again thank our speakers for the very insightful session, I believe. It is indeed very useful for all of us, especially students during this difficult period. Now, to all participants, I would like to take this opportunity to inform you on our upcoming webinar titled How Not to Get Conned by Fake News that will be happening tonight at 8:30 p.m. I believe it is a much needed session for most of us for the current situation. So if you are interested, you can scan the QR code or directly go to the link provided to register. All right. We also, if you do want to miss any of our upcoming sessions, you can also subscribe with us by joining our Telegram group. So if you are interested, please scan the QR code or directly go to the link provided to join our group. So we have come to the end of our today's session. On behalf of SEGI Group of Colleges, I would like to again thank all of our participants for joining our SEGI webinar series for today. And stay connected, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.